Philadelphia 24-22 winners in a winner-take-all game in Dallas. The big news today is that reportedly Monte Kiffin is going to stay with Dallas, even though they were the 32nd ranked defense in the league. Dallas horrible on defense, yet I was telling Heather this. Did anyone realize when the NBC cameras went to Jason Garrett consistently last night, he didn't say anything to anyone? He just kind of, he stood there on the sidelines like this. He has the headset. You could talk to people. You know, that's usually what its purpose is. But he just kind of stands there like, and just kind of looking, sort of. No? Nobody noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, look, I didn't
Maybe it's the little things I pick up on.
But it's the same tune. Jerry Jones is going to keep those guys because he's never wrong about anything. And he's going to insist that he was right in bringing in his boy, Jason Garrett, and Monte Kiffin, who's 98 years old and had a good defense approximately 73 years ago.
How old is he? 73 or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
And he shares the duties there with Marinelli, right?
He said duties. He has, by the way, Rod Marinelli, I'm not totally sure, but he had a crutch. Did anybody else notice that?
I didn't see that.
That was unfortunate.
King of like random irrelevant.
By the way, random and irrelevant observations.
Did anybody notice that for a while? I'm trying to think of the most irrelevant player.
No, you can't do it. Window pass. Window pass.
Okay, Des Bryant had his. He's a relevant player. Had his shoes untied. The shoelaces untied.
Took too long. Speaking of irrelevant, aside from Jake Huger's plastic fantasy football belt, here were some of my favorite tweets from last night when Kyle Orton threw an interception on the last possession of the game. Jeff tweeted "When in Romo." So I like that.
Oh,
that was a good one. Will Brinson tweeted, Tony Romo tears off his Kyle Orton mask and laughs manically. Right here.
That's not bad.
Awful announcing tweets, Tony Romo still definitely not clutch. Wait a second. Oh, interesting. Last one, Kyle McMahon says Kyle Orton couldn't rewrite the Tony Romo narrative. Proof that Jerry Jones is cursed. There you go.
No, but so that goes to my overall point. As do most things, come back to showing how right I was. Okay, so look, whether it's Romo, whether it's Orton, and Orton's not that bad, actually. I mean, if you're going to have a backup, I don't mind Orton as a backup.
Orton or Fitzpatrick, one of the two.
Yeah, I think Orton's won a lot of games. Fitzpatrick's actually a pretty good quarterback. But so, I didn't mind him there, but he was a very bad pass, and he made some bad passes throughout the game. I would have rather had Romo than Orton in the game, obviously, right? But Dallas is Dallas because the guy who runs the organization is Jerry Jones, and he picks guys who are going to bungle it at the last moment, at a critical moment, because that's what the Cowboys do. No matter who's in there, that's what the Cowboys do.
Does anyone have anything good to say about the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I love the Eagles.
Okay,
Yeah,
definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
We're spending all this time
they went
ripping the Cowboys.
7-1 or 6-2 on the road this year. 6-2, and they won 7 of their last 8. And they gained 450 yards in 12 of their 16 games. They're phenomenal.
Since Foles came back from injury, Jake wanted me to look this up. 7-1.
Yeah. They were 3-5.
Fantastic.
2 interceptions, 25 touchdowns.
27
touchdowns.
He makes them like he had the ball. He threw a ball that Jason Avant caught before the first touchdown.
That was a great catch, though.
It was a great catch.
It was a great catch.
Right, it was a great catch. It was a terrible throw. Like, I mean, there's some luck here with Nick Foles. Like, he threw that ball back over the middle. Like, you're like, what are you doing?
So you're saying he has Eli Manning syndrome when they won the Super Bowl, where he was like the luckiest quarterback.
It feels blessed, like that they could do some damage because they're blessed. And I think they'll win next week because I think if it's below 75 degrees in Philadelphia and it's outdoors.
And they host the Saints next week.
We know what the Saints do in this situation, and they inexplicably can't move the ball.
Agreed.
Look, I don't know who's going to win that game because I actually like the Saints a lot, and
even on the road.
Yeah.
Even on the road, you like them.
Yeah, even on the road, I like them. I love Breeze, and I think he can win any game in the NFL. Period. Right. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I like the Eagles. I liked them when they were 1-3. I liked them when they were 3-5. I'm not just saying that. I put my money where my mouth is. I had them to win the division when they were down to get the best odds. Partly because that division was horrible, right? But I was a believer in Chip Kelly from day one, and he's delivered. The reason Foles gets lucky is because he's in the right system. If they had Romo in that system, all of a sudden Romo would be the greatest winner of all time. Okay, if it's the right system, Chip Kelly's the right coach, you get the right result.